everything on this planet has its goods and its bads, and the internet is no different. At one point, as a teenage CEO, I'm so thankful to the internet for the opportunities and resources it has provided me. At the other point, it's a very pressing issue for me as myself to look about how many kids get misdirected, misguided by means of the internet. You get wrong resources, get wrong guidance, get into the wrong direction by using the internet. And that according to me is so pressing right now, and internet maturity has to become mainstream for everybody. It needs to be compulsory. Most parents are tackling with protecting, because anyone, literally anyone, irrespective of their age, is vulnerable on the internet. And when we look at teens and preteens, the vulnerability just gets more. And the best way parents think they're tackling this is by reducing the contact with the internet. And when we are reducing the contact with the internet, they're isolating kids from the goods of the internet, from the good resources, from the opportunities, from the resources the child can leverage to change the world on the internet. But at the same time, they're protecting from the bads. Although at one point it sounds very prospective to use the internet, the other part is extremely depressing to look at. Internet maturity has to be made mainstream. Protecting kids on the internet does not mean stopping kids from using the internet. That's isolating the goods and the bads. And that's not the best thing to do, because the goods have no generation before us has had access to these many. What needs to be done is kids need to be made internet mature. Internet maturity has to be put mainstream. It needs to be compulsory. When children know the difference between goods and bads, they need to know the difference between goods and bads on the internet, how to protect themselves against vulnerabilities, how to know what is spamming, how to protect themselves from content such as phishing, how to not get in touch with unverified strangers trying to fake themselves to be someone else, how to not get directed by 40-year-olds acting as 17-year-olds on the internet. And the amount of issues that the internet has brought just keep on increasing. And isolating the internet is not the best option. You're removing a lot of opportunities the child has at the point. And what needs to be done is children need to be made internet mature. They need to be given resources to learn what goods the internet can do to them. How can they use the internet to their advantage without getting in touch with the disadvantages, keeping themselves safe on the internet. They need to know the difference between the goods and the bads, and that is the way internet maturity has to be inbuilt. They need to know the difference between what is authentic and what is unauthentic, and that's very difficult because on the internet it can be taken to a very different level, and that would be internet maturity. So this is a request for all of you to not stop your kids from using the internet to stop them from the vulnerabilities, but teaching them to be internet mature, teaching them to be able to use the internet. And all the teenagers out there, teach yourselves to be internet mature. Never ever stop someone from using the internet, because they lose a lot of opportunity, they lose resources. Don't stop them. Teach them how to take care of themselves. When a child is going into the real world, you don't stop him from going into the real world because he's vulnerable. You teach him how to stay safe in the real world instead of stopping him. And that's what we need to do. Tweet hashtag internet maturity in India. Post it on LinkedIn, post it on Facebook, post it on all social networks. Share this video, share your thoughts. Let's start a movement. Let's make internet maturity mainstream in India, in developing countries and in developed countries. Because I do not believe, as far as the question of internet maturity is, any country comes forward as developed in context to internet maturity. We need to make it mainstream, that everyone who uses the internet knows how to use it. Specifically teens and preteens, that the vulnerabilities of the internet can be controlled, it can be reduced, and the cases we hear about misdirection on the